Hey everybody, my name's Tom. Welcome to the channel. I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. I picked up the new Sony PS5 controller and I'm gonna unbox it and I want to compare it to the PS4 controller, see if some of the accessories that I have for PS4 will move over to the PS5. So let's just bust right into it.
My first impressions is that it's nice. I'm really a fan of bubble plastic showcasing a product. I think the picture on the front with the controller button symbols behind it is simple and sleek. On the side of the box stated that there's a controller that's only compatible with the PS5. Back of the box has some info what we can expect with use, including new haptic feedback on the controller. This will be available as long as the game being played supports it. We have new adaptive triggers, which carry the force or strength of the triggers in some games using gear or actions. We'll see a new built-in microphone in chat in party with online gaming. This is pretty cool. This gets me excited. As long as it doesn't sound terrible or pick up a lot of background noise or gameplay, yeah, that's cool. We'll see. And something Sony is calling signature comfort. But I'll be the judge of that, won't I? Based on what I'm seeing just from the box, it looks like Sony's really trying to go for a more immersive experience with the little nuances in this gaming console. We have legal jargon on the bottom, not important, so let's just open this guy up and get a closer look. So as we open the box, you'll see that inside is an unbranded, white, smaller box. Which inside is obviously our controller, which we'll put off to the side, and our controller's instructions. So that's it. There are no cables inside this box. Something you have to keep in mind if you're buying another controller. So let's open this up. And here it is. It looks very cool in person. I wasn't expecting it. Wow. The thumbsticks have a grip around the outside, which is nice and new compared to the PS4 controller. It's very easy to grip your fingers on. I'm shocked. As you can see on this PS4 controller, the size is a lot bigger. It feels girthier than a PS4 controller, and that's obviously because it is. The PS4 controller just doesn't have these grip thumbsticks, but super nice. Also, the touchpad is a little bit wider on the PS5 controller. Holding it actually makes me feel like I'm holding an Xbox controller. It's nice though. I will say I really like the buttons. They're clear, and so is the D-pad. They look really nice. There's the PlayStation logo right in the middle to turn on the controller itself, and it lights a ring up around the touchpad right here. It turns blue. We have our USB-C on the top, as well as our controller triggers, which they feel really nice. I like it. Everything's super springy. So let's take a better look at these thumbsticks that are gripped. Well, I play a lot of first-person shooters. I've actually upgraded and bought something called Control Freaks. They're little adapters that go on top of your thumbstick like this, and what they do in turn is make your thumbstick a little bit longer, concaved, shorter, depends on your play style. So I always go for the longer ones to try to become more accurate, and I'm curious if they'll fit on the PS4 controller, and they most definitely do. So I don't know if you guys also buy third-party stuff like Control Freaks, but now you know that they will fit on a PS5 controller. I love them. I only play with them. The only thing about them is on a PS4 controller, your thumbs will touch, and that's not great. But if you do move your hands around, it's not a problem. But very cool. I'm glad I'm going to be able to swap these from my PS4 to my PS5. The next feature on this controller we're going to talk about is the microphone. And you guys can see the microphone hole is right down there, and it looks like there's a little light to indicate. Oh, it's definitely a button. That is so cool. Oh, it's definitely a mute button. I would say mute power. That is insane. That I'm actually stoked because I was worried it would have to be like an in-game setting, but it does look like they added some sort of mute button right there underneath the speakers and PS button. The controller is nice though. It's comfortable to hold. The top is sleek and smooth plastic. These triggers on top are not concave. They're actually a little rounded. I don't know if it would be problematic. Probably for long gaming sessions. I like to have a little bit of a concave on my triggers themselves. But the rest of the controller is beautiful. It's clean and it's really nice. We have two other buttons on the top. This top one probably being options, as the PS4 button in the same location is an options button. And we have this one on the left hand side, which is a share button. I assume that these are going to be mapped to share and options just like the PS4 controller. Everything's easily accessible with your hands, placed very well, comfortable to hold, and clean. I do like the way that black kind of fades into the bottom too. It's super nice. Now, let's talk about why I like the back of this controller. The attention to detail on the back of this controller is insane. It's gripped with very, very small squares, triangles, circles, and X's. And my favorite part is that sticker doesn't exist anymore. It's printed directly on the plastic as opposed to the PS4, which this one doesn't even have the sticker anymore. But this one right here, you can see that it has completely worn off. And it just makes the controller look a little dingy and gross, and I was never a fan of that sticker. But it's nice that on the PS5 controller, it just isn't there, or all that legal jargon is printed directly on the controller now. It's refreshing to know that they took a step in the right direction for those little things that we all had problems with. So while you'd probably just not take my advice that it's more girthy, we're actually going to weigh out an old PS4 controller and the PS5 controller, and you guys can see the weight difference. You can see the PlayStation 4 controller weighs 222 grams. It's about 7.5 ounces. Now the PS5 controller, 284 grams. A little bit more, but you can definitely feel it in the plastic and the make of the controller itself. All the sizes of the thumbsticks are exactly the same, as well as the buttons. I was even surprised to see that the thumbstick distance is nearly the exact same thing from PS4 to PS5. One of the only things that's disappointing with this controller is its lack of charging cable, which is USB-C, by the way. You would think for the price of $69.99 it would include a cable. I don't know. Just my thoughts. If we take a look at the bottom of the controller, you can see there's a headphone jack, as well as something that looks to be contact points, I assume for charging. The PS4 had its own extension port as well, more of a plug style that you could use on cradle systems. I'd be curious to see what they're going to do with this and the PS5 controller, but it does look super nice and it feels great.
That's what she said.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And while you're at it, check out this video, a review in 2020 on the N64. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.